Hello, I'm Titus Presser, Executive Director of the Global Episcopal Mission Network here at the General Convention of the Episcopal Church in Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm sitting with the Reverend Frederico Garza, and I'm going to read off of his business card. In the Department of Church Alliances for Food for the Poor, Frederico is the Church and Ministries Relations Advisor. And I've asked you here, Frederico, with one simple question. Tell us your mission story.
All right. Well, I started off doing a bunch of stuff like I would minister to people in homeless parks. And I still go to maximum security prisons to minister to folks. And I go to homeless shelters, city jails, and I do a lot of hot meal kitchen type of work. Now, all to share the love of God with those who are lost, who are broken, who are searching and yearning for something to change in their lives. And for me, it gives them gives me an opportunity to introduce them to Jesus, who I feel has if he only gets an opportunity, he can change their lives and give them something that is wonderful and beautiful as God has given to me. And so that's what I do. That's my mission in my life. And so I want to make sure that I do the best that I can for that. And right now I work with Food for the Poor. And what my role is to help people to engage with Food for the Poor as a way to partner with God in all the work that God is doing here in the Western Hemisphere. And what we do is we do everything from build homes to businesses to supply chains to entire villages, all with the goal of helping the people become economically self-sufficient. What I have found in my time with Food for the Poor is I have found a God that is inviting us to go into these places, into the trash dumps where the kids are competing with vultures for food, where children are orphans out in these trash dumps or in the city streets. And I have seen God perform miracles for children, for their mothers, for entire families. And I think for me, watching God do those miracles every bit as wonderful and as amazing as anything I've ever read in the Gospels, I get to see for myself the living God change lives. And I know that God is not some part of our imagination that we hang on to in the nighttime of our fear, but God is real and God is alive. And I can preach with conviction, and I can tell people that I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that I don't have to worry about God taking care of me, because God has done that not only for me, but for so many others. And so it gives me the freedom and the peace to do whatever it is God wants me to do, and to go to the places and be with the people that God chooses to rescue. And I have no illusion that it's me doing any of the work. And our CEO, Ed Raines at Food for the Poor, has no illusion that it's us doing the work. He tells us constantly over and over and over again that it is God doing the work, and we're just there at God's invitation to see God perform these miracles. And I just pinch myself that I get to be a part of something like this. It is beautiful, and I've not earned my place at Food for the Poor. I've not earned my place in God's kingdom, but it is a gift that God has chosen to give to someone who is just as broken and as in need of God's grace as the people to whom we serve. And my role at Food for the Poor, I wish my role at Food for the Poor would be in Haiti, be in Honduras, be in these places and be with these people so they could teach me about a God that my titles and my wealth and my privilege has stolen from me a long time ago. That the poor can show me God in ways that I would not be able to see God otherwise. But instead, God has chosen to send me out to the churches here in the United States to share with the people the stories and the wonder in the joy and the miracles that God is doing every single day. And I ask them to find the eyes to see and to find the ears to hear God everywhere, but especially in the eyes of the poor. And I believe that the Episcopal Church will not, cannot see a rejuvenation without the poor alongside us. I firmly believe that. That has been the case in my own life. I've seen it in the case of the lives with whom I minister. And I know if God can rescue and revive and rejuvenate people in maximum security prisons, why cannot God do that within the church? And so that's why I go all over the country to preach on behalf of Food for the Poor, because I want to introduce them to a God who's yearning for them to partner with him and see with their own eyes all that God is doing. So they don't have to believe in a God because the person from the pulpit is telling them that. They don't have to believe in God because they read it in the Bible. They don't have to believe in God because they hear it in their Sunday school lessons. They get to believe in God deep in their bones because they have seen God with their own eyes do miracles that are beautiful and wonderful and transformative. And so I invite people to partner with God, because I find in my own life that when God has asked me to join forces with God so that God can rescue the other people, what I have found is that the one that God rescued was me. And that's what I want, the same gift, the same wonder, the same joy that God has gifted me. I want it for every Episcopalian. That's why I do the work that I do.
Thank you so much, Frederico. Your passion, your vision, the way you bring together the outreach and the inreach, how this has transformed your own spiritual life. And then the God-centeredness of this. You're emphasizing so wonderfully that Food for the Poor is not simply a social outreach, it's a God outreach. Thanks be to God. Thank you. I don't have any follow-up questions because you've answered and told us so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak and just share a little bit of my story, the story of the people with whom we serve, and the story of Food for the Poor. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Frederico. God bless.
Thanks.